next guest is only the 15th player in Major League history to pitch a perfect game. Please welcome number 33 from the New York Yankees, David Wells. It must be great. I mean, it's been a little while since you pitched the perfect game, but I bet you the excitement has not abated here in New York. The fans must be, they treat you like a god, yeah.
Well, it's very flattering, but, you know, it's something that, you know, I'm sure I'll enjoy it more when I'm done playing, but thus far it's been very exciting and just overwhelmed with all the comments that people make and, you know, just that we're there at the game and really enjoyed it.
But you once almost pitched a no-hitter, or not almost, you were on your way to pitching a no-hitter.
On my way, yes.
On your way to doing it, and something went wrong. Tell us what happened.
I was with Cincinnati, and we were in Philadelphia, and it was the 7th inning, and our manager, Davey Johnson, took out the catcher. Benito Santiago, I think, was catching, put in Eddie Taubensee, and then changed the left fielder. And the next batter was Charlie Hayes, I believe, and he got a base hit. So I just kind of stood in the dugout looking at Davey, got out of the inning. I think I ended up giving up a run that inning. Walked in and just looked at him and headbutted him.
You headbutted the guy? You headbutted your boss, basically.
Absolutely. The manager, not the boss. I'd like to headbutt her, too.
It's your privilege and you're right. So,
but, yeah.
Because you don't mess, when it's working, the other cardinal rule is you don't mess with it, right?
No, you try not to. But some guys, doesn't really bother them, so they try to make changes, especially for defensive purposes and stuff like that.
All right, let's talk about your childhood. You're growing up, and even as a young boy, you were hanging out with some Hell's Angels. Is that the case?
My mom was dating one at the time, and but you know, they were always around, so it was nothing really big for me to, you know, to deal with. It was everybody else that surrounded me were scared of me because if anything ever happened, my mom's boyfriend's going to kick your butt. He's a Hell's Angel or something like that. So, but
so on the playground, you could back it up. I mean, some kids say things like that, but you actually have 5 Hell's Angels with beards walking up behind you. You better build his sandcastle back up again right now.
I wish it was that case, but no, I had to fight my own fights and deal with my own doings. But it was. Would
they come to games, the Hell's Angels?
They would come. And that's where I made my money. I used to bribe these guys. For every win, I'd get $5. For every strikeout, it was $1. So, you know, I became a pretty good player when I was young. A little rich too.
Do you actually hang out with any of these guys now? Are you still friends with some?
Some I am friends with, but I don't hang around. That's my California days. I live in Florida now, so. But don't get an opportunity to run into him very often. Okay,
let's talk about your idol. Your idol, favorite guy of all time, Babe Ruth.
The Babe.
Now, what is it you love so much about Babe Ruth, besides the obvious, that he was just a legendary player?
He was just larger than life. He saved the game, obviously, and, you know, just the way he went about his business on the field, off the field, the people respected him. He just had so many features in life. I mean, traveling after the season, doing shows, doing, you know, going to towns and putting on some displays, whatever, hitting, and all that kind of stuff. And it just kind of, you know, as a kid growing up, just watching documentaries on baseball, he just kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. Yeah, and then it was, to me, it was all my reports and stuff I did on him, and that was basically
every school report you did was on Babe Ruth?
That was it.
This is supposed to be about trigonometry.
I know nothing about, no.
You even bought one of Babe Ruth's hats, is that right?
Last year I had a friend of mine in Texas, he's a dealer there and our collector as well, Mark Jordan, and he goes, he knows, I know you're a big Babe Ruth fan, so I have this hat that somebody wants to get rid of and the story behind it, and I said, well, I'll take it. He goes, it's a lot of money. I said, I'll take it. Doesn't matter. Just to me, it's worth the, just to have that, you know, it's just, I don't care what it's worth. You know, I just wanted to have that for my own history of, you know, being a Babe Ruth fan. So
how much is the hat?
It was $35,000.
$35,000. So this isn't one that you're like pulling it away from the dog. Come on, give it back.
I'd have to kick the dog in the butt.
That's my $35,000 hat.
It's pretty far-fetched, but if you love something of that, whatever it is, then if you can afford it, then you might as well go out there and get it.
Right. Now, another thing, Babe Ruth, pitcher and a hitter. He did both. He did both fantastically.
Very well.
What about the famous, I'm just curious, because this is your idol, Babe Ruth. What if you were pitching to Babe Ruth and he did what he's famous for, which is, I think it was in the early 1930s, with his bat, he pointed and called a home run before he hit it.
Shot.
The called shot. It's a famous thing. If you were pitching to Babe Ruth and he did that, how would you take it?
I wouldn't take it too lightly. I'd probably drill him right in the ribs.
Well,
I mean, to me,
while he's down, you can go get the hat for free.
yeah, right. Just grab it.
take the jersey as well.
You start taking everything? Get his pants!
Like
Come
a
on!
bum. You know, as a matter of fact, speaking of skibbies, somebody left there at Max, I think it was, left his skibbies in the locker room back there. And
He's nude a lot backstage.
Is he really?
He's very comfortable with his naked body.
Oh, my son was going, Dad, whose are those? I said, those are Max's.
I'm sure he's very happy that you mentioned that on the air. All right, David, thank you so much for coming by. And continued success. You guys are on your way to maybe beating the record. You're not supposed to mention that, though, am I?
No, I know. It's fine. It's something that...
Most winning team, maybe, of all time.
Well, the media's really blown this out of proportion as well, but... I mean, for all the guys on the team, it's just an everyday thing for us. We don't think about it. We know it's there, but, you know, it's nothing that you can really thrive on and try to go after that, because that's just too much added pressure on each and every individual. But, you know, we're taking it in stride, just going out there and just playing, you know, fundamental baseball, hard-nosed, going out there and playing as hard as we can.
All right.
And all that. But before we go, I have a gift for you as well.
Oh.
It's a ticket from... the day of the perfect game.
Good Lord. Thank you. Let's get a shot of that. And it's signed by you. And that day they were handing out tickets in lucite cubes, which I think was... It's nice that it all worked out that way, isn't it?
And they ball, so if you don't like that, you can throw it at somebody. And
yeah, no, I'm very... We'll keep this in Andy's ante, actually. That's where we'll keep it. David, that's very generous of you. Thank you very much for that.
You're very welcome.
Really, continued success.